This is a demo of how the adaptive deinterlacing works on pretty much all Panasonic Plasma TVs. This happens to be a 1080p TV, which means it does a pretty good job of upscaling 480i content, but of course, deinterlacing that content is a challenge. Now, this stimuli is particularly challenging because it's filled with a lot of 1 pixel wide stimuli. And you can see as the red ball passes over to static background, all kinds of artifacts. And those artifacts come from the fact that when the region of the background is exposed, the only thing the TV can possibly do is line doubling. And so you get a lot of flicker or other sorts of artifacts. Now, this is obviously the worst case scenario. It's a bit like pixel art, but it's the worst possible pixel art. But I think even with regular pixel art, this would work poorly. On the other hand, it's super fast. And for static stimuli, it's ideal because it actually lets all the pixels through without any blur. Keep in mind that these pixels, these elements in the screen, the lines, the horizontal and vertical bars, the checkerboard, they're all 1 pixel wide. And if there was any sort of averaging going on, they'd be very blurry, or they'd be bouncing around if you were using a Bob deinterlacer. They come through at full resolution using this technique, and the only problem is where there's some motion. So it's a bit of a trade-off. It's very fast, it looks good for static stimuli, and it works actually pretty well for natural scenes. But when it comes to pixel art, which honestly is probably the only reason why you'd want to get a TV this old anymore, it's not ideal. I have a high frame rate video. I believe it's 960 frames per second that I'm going to show after this. They'll demonstrate exactly how the line doubling fills in the gaps in the interlaced video stream, if it's not obvious just from viewing this video here.